Sunny Puerto Rico has for nearly a decade been living under the cloud of a shrinking economy and growing IOUs. It faces repayments on more than $70 billion in debt that the island's government says it lacks the cash to cover. It got in this position due to a decline in population and lower tax revenues from a recession, leading the island's government to pay for public services using debt, which U.S. Congress allows it to issue tax-free. Some schools and hospitals have already been closed, and some police and firefighters have been laid off. Now, its financial crisis is moving to a new level, the island's government deciding to not make most of a $422 million debt payment due on Monday. Governor Alejandro Padilla issued an executive order suspending debt payments, blaming his predecessors and U.S. Congress. Those who took and spent those loans did not leave a repayment source, he says. We were forced to take emergency measures in light of Congress's inaction. Why is he blaming Congress? And why does Puerto Rico now need Congress's help? Cities and counties can declare bankruptcy. States cannot. And in this regard, Puerto Rico is treated like a state. It's also not a country, so it can't turn to the International Monetary Fund for assistance. Democrats are warning of dire consequences.
San Juan will be ablaze
if the U.S. doesn't come to the rescue.
The more they delay and the more that Republicans drag their feet, the more likely it is that a bailout becomes the only option.
In other words, unless a debt restructuring plan is enacted, U.S. taxpayers could end up bearing the burden. House Speaker Paul Ryan is trying to push a plan through Congress that would create a federal oversight board with powers to approve or reject local budgets and to approve plans for court-supervised debt restructuring. But he faces opposition on the right and left from critics who say Congress getting involved in solving a state or territory's debt issues would set a bad precedent. What happens if Congress does nothing? Puerto Rico's public services erode. Creditors could sue the struggling island to get what's owed to them, and bondholders could be hurt.
Puerto Rico is facing a crisis with severe consequences for the lives of 3.5 million American citizens on the island.
In other words, not a very postcard-perfect picture. That's the short answer.